Hi guys, welcome back to Girls Night In.
Episode 2, our version of being selfish.
Alright, so I think first, I feel like the word selfish has a really bad stigma around it.
It does, it has a negative connotation.
But we don't mean it this way. This is very much, we're gonna dive into it. She has some things she wants to talk about. I'll let you start first. But I have some things as well, but so different than what you're thinking. That's why I want to say our version of being selfish.
Because it really isn't selfishness.
Yeah.
Selfishness.
Wait, no, selfishness.
Yeah, I said it right the first time. But it's really not.
It's almost like, it's a way of doing things to better yourself.
Yeah. My version of being selfless.
Selfish. But we are selfless.
We are selfless. I feel like being selfish kind of goes against my nature as a person. And maybe Abigail will agree with me in that regard.
I feel like a lot of people either grow up selfish.
Yeah.
Like bad selfish. Like not like selfish in the way we're
And there's a healthy medium. There's definitely a healthy medium.
And that's the whole point. It's the older you get, the more you realize there are some instances in life where you have to be selfish if you want to A, protect yourself, B, better yourself.
Yeah.
And
and go farther in life.
Put yourself and the people you love first.
Yeah.
So it goes against your nature because you've just never been that way.
Yeah. And I'm also I don't know if this is part of it, but I'm also the oldest child. I have a little sister. I don't know if that I'm always very heightened. I have a very heightened sense of awareness about people around me and how everyone else is feeling. So my parents' emotions, my sister's emotions, my friends, are they in a bad mood? How will that affect me? Sort of thing.
How can you help them get out
exactly.
of that mood?
I'm such a helper, and it's just I've been trying to not be like that, or I've been trying to distance myself with that part of me because it has hurt me in the past. And Abigail talking about how far this goes back. I had this memory of literally I think I was in 4th grade. And there was some classroom incident that happened and I was involved, and I just remember the entire classroom mom, or the moms of these girls where I was there was a whole
when the moms come in.
Oh my god, no, it was
never good.
My mom and the teacher versus these other moms in the class, and it was a whole thing. I got called to the principal's office. It was just
how old?
I was 4th grade, so I was 10. It was a lot. And then in that moment I was realizing, oh, maybe it's not good to be that nice. And my mom was just kind of maybe you shouldn't have been the easy scapegoat for all these other moms because their kids messed up. It was just a whole thing, and I don't even know how I want to start with that, but I feel coming from, I also feel getting to college, you just have to be a little bit more selfish.
I got you every time you mess up.
I don't know why, because I'm thinking.
No, I always go to say selfless every time I'm saying selfish. And the word, the more you say it, the more it doesn't sound like it makes sense.
It just the word sounds weird to me.
The word does sound weird.
When you say it too many times, I'm what the heck?
Yeah.
But I also feel you have to realize that not everyone in your life wants you to succeed. And that's something that I've had to learn the hard way. Sometimes you do have to be your advocate, and you have to be wait, maybe these people aren't here for me and want me to succeed in that way, and then you have to sort of be selfish in that way and cut people off or distance yourself depending on the situation.
Some people, I'm gonna be so blunt here, some people just don't care. Some people genuinely just don't care about you. And I don't know, going back to being young, one of the points I made was there was a point in high school where I can say this because my mom knows this. My mom genuinely didn't enjoy being with me, because I'll be honest, I look back and I'm oh my god, I was a brat. I was such a brat. I obviously have my close knit girls now from high school who I still call them my best friends. I love them. We have a big group of people. Then there was other people who I met along the way, and I just remember I would just even if they weren't friends, even if there was random people who were friendly but we weren't friends. I would give my all to them. If they need me, drop everything. I was at the nail salon once. This is so pathetic. I was at the nail salon once getting my nails done, and someone told me that they were something was going on with them, and I was oh my god, I gotta get to them right away. And I stopped the nails. This is how much I would care about other people.
Mid getting it done.
They had taken the polish off, and it's what, and then I was oh, it's fine, maybe my nails need to breathe anyway. So I was I'm actually not gonna get polished. And I left, and I went to go help this person. My mom was my mom was like, I can ask you for this, and you won't show up. And like, to me, that's like the huge thing is like, I would give all my energy to these people who would never, did anyone freaking stop their nail appointment? No, that's not even normal. Like, that was like so abnormal. But that's something like my mom would do for me.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a self-sacrifice in you.
And my thing is like giving, like let's get into this like after. I'm gonna let you go back to yours. But I feel like a huge topic is giving your time and energy to friends versus family.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I realize like friends come and go. Unless you have like the ones that stick with you.
Yeah.
Family's forever. Not only do some people not want you to succeed, some people just don't care like you do.
They wouldn't do the same things you would do for them.
No, and that's the worst pain to deal with. Like my whole life, I feel like you're probably the same. We're like the same. We're both, not that I'm like a huge sign girl, but we're both Virgos. We're like 2 days apart. And I feel like what's time of the, apparently like, it's like a psych thing. It's not like astrology, it's like separate from it. What time of the year you grow up in and like what year you grew up in apparently shapes who you are as a person. So like we grew up in the exact same month and the exact same time. So it's probably why we have,
it might be this like same emotional
like connections and stuff.
That would make sense.
The hardest pill to swallow is that the same person you would give everything to won't do the same, and then you have to be like, oh, I keep forgetting. Not everyone's like me. No one like cares like I care. Yeah.
And like I'm going home this weekend to like hang with my sister and like take care of my dog. So that is like, for me, I'm like, okay, if this was like 2 years ago, I'd be like, oh, this is so annoying. Like, why am I having to go home on Halloween weekend? But like now I'm like, you know what? It'll be fun. Like me and my sister are planning to go to the movies and like go to the haunted mansion. Like it will have fun.
Meanwhile, I'm escaping Halloween weekend. I hate
I hate Halloween. We should actually talk about this because I have so much anxiety about Halloween.
I hate Halloween. I'm not creative with costumes. I have no energy with costumes.
I think it's also like the religion aspect. Like now that I'm like trying to like get more into like Christianity, like Halloween
it's really satanic.
It's so bad. Like
it actually is.
There's such dark energy surrounding it. I'm like, ooh,
Halloween is so dark, bro.
It's so dark.
October's a spooky month.
I think. Are you going home too?
I'm going to Boston to my house, And I wish she's not picking me up, so she's sending a driver.
Oh, that's so nice.
No, I know. I'm like, she's not picking me up, so she's sending a driver. But to me, I'm always like, what should we talk about in the car? Yeah. I feel like, you want to hear a podcast? Listen to Girls Night In.
The driver, you're like, play it right now. We have a 30-minute drive.
I feel like college is a huge, like, figuring out who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like part of figuring out who you are as a person is a deep dive into your own personal
journey,
psyche, journey, like
what have you been through.
And I'll always say this, I literally wrote this down, I'm just gonna read it out because I just want to remember word for word. But like I said, at the end of the day, the only person that will be with you your entire life is you. And at the end of the physical day, the only thing you have is you and your thoughts. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to make it a happy place. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this also taps into like relationships, like whether you're in a relationship, like, or a friendship, like, anything really. I think I just talked about, in this one I was talking about being ready for a relationship. I always wanted to be in a relationship, but I knew I was never ready. And I feel like that's when your selfishness should come in, because, like, you need to be secure yourself before you can be secure in a relationship.
Definitely.
And I realized, like, I'm finally there, because I feel like I've grown. Not that, but.
Yeah. But it's good to know that, right?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like, and I feel like now I'm at the point where, because
I have that
so
self-sacrificing nature about you to be in a relationship.
And not only that, but once you start like seeing yourself, like you know your own worth and how you handle situations. I have met so many people here who I'm just like, no, you would never be capable of being in a relationship with me. Because I feel like I'm at this maturity level that not a lot of people are at right now.
No, not at all.
And I feel like that's also the whole like science behind males being more immature than females, but it's a different conversation. But I feel like that's a huge thing in college. It's like you work all day, like you're the only one, like obviously you bump into your classmates, you have conversations, but you're doing your work, you're waking up, you're deciding if I should go to the gym or not, you're getting back into your sheets at the end of the night thinking what I do today, how I feel, what accomplishments did I make, how will this help me in the future. And if like you're a secure person, you're way better off.
That's so true. And going back to the self-sacrificing, like I have seen myself like in friendships, in just like in my life, like, I have done the most for certain people that, like you said, they would never ever reciprocate that for you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it is a hard pill to swallow, because then you're like, why am I different? Like, why do I have heightened emotions about, like, certain situations? Why does this person not care as much as I do about, like, our friendship or our relationship or whatever? So it is hard to, like, be that person that is more emotionally aware. I don't even know if would it be emotionally aware?
I feel like it might be that, because are you talking about, like, for example, say if, like, you made this, like, whole plan, you, like, cooked dinner or whatever, someone was supposed to come over and they're like, oh, so sorry, but I actually wanted to go to this tonight, and then you're like, oh my god, I would never do this to you.
Yeah.
It's like that, and then, like, you're upset, but, like, if, like, they don't care as much, like, do you mean like that?
Yeah.
And then some people are like, it's not that big of a deal, they just were like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, it's a big deal, because
if you knew me, you know I would care.
Yeah.
So maybe it is the fact that they just don't know you well enough, honestly, but
I don't know. I've had some, I remember, like, and this is like no.
I've had more with, like, friendships. It's more just like, oh, we have plans, like, we're gonna go to the mall, we're gonna go get lunch, and then it's like, they haven't answered me in 2 hours and we were supposed to meet, like, where are they? Like, it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That I've experienced, but.
This is so cringe. I love Christmas, and every year we would do, like, a Christmas night at my house. Like, I don't know, like, it's just a big thing to me.
Like a swap?
No. Well, actually, yeah, we've done those. Yeah. But no, like, there was this one night where it was like later November, so it was like getting into the Christmas season, whatever. But I had friends who were like down for early Christmas.
Yeah.
And I baked cookies. I laid out, like, all the stuff to, like, decorate them. I laid out, like, this whole hot chocolate stand, set up blow-up mattresses in my room so we could, got the projector from my cousin, like, all this stuff so we could watch movies. And then, like, I didn't think some people were, like, people were like, oh, I can't come, and then some were super late, and I was just like, oh my god, they want to go to the football game instead of coming here when I literally worked so hard all day to make this so perfect. And my mom just remembers being, like, so sad for me. They ended up, like, coming because I think it was so visible that I was sad. Yeah. But, like, stuff like that, like, to me, like,
that meant the world for them to come.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to, like, do this, like, I hope this makes them happy. Like, I'm always thinking, like,
we're such planners too.
Yeah, and I'm like, how can I make them happy?
Yes, yeah. But because it gives you, like, it makes you happy if someone else is happy. I've always been that way. It's
like, I'm over it now. I'm just using an example. Yeah, that's what you meant though. Like, you would be like,
it's very much
that was also like maybe some. Like, some people just aren't thoughtful people.
They just
and they don't
think
mean
about everything.
Way.
Yeah, it sounds so bad. But, like, how do you not think about that?
How do you not think about other people?
I don't know if it's just because we've, like, grown up like this, but I'm like, sometimes I'm like, how do you not, like, go through the thought process of, like, oh, this person's, like, having us over, they're gonna be setting food up, they're gonna be making food, they're gonna be doing this. How do you not think that way?
Like, I've always been a person that's like, for example, we didn't get a prom, but we did a fake prom at my friend Caroline's house, and I grew up bringing flowers to whatever house, like, host something. Yeah. So, like, bought her flowers, and I bought Caroline flowers as well.
Yeah, I've always done that too. If you're going over to someone else's house, you bring flowers.
And, like, even, like, I've had friends this year, obviously friends in the past too, but two friends, like, one of my friends, my mom got something for him, and before I went home on the weekend, he was like, oh, he stopped by. He had a thank you note for my mom. Like, that's just an example. Yeah. And then, like, my friend who stayed over for the long weekend, she sent my mom a thank you note and a little gift. Like,
that's nice, yeah.
That's, like, to me, that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't people thoughtful out there? Like, that's thoughtful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
I'm like, okay, so there are people, but it's not like everyone. Have you always been, like, super generous too?
Yeah. It's not like a money thing. It's more like, I will sacrifice my time even if I don't want to be doing it. Like, I feel like even now I'm, like, so, like, overcommitted with, like, things at school that I'm like,
and then you added this in.
And then I added this in, but I'm like, damn, I really took too much on.
Like, how are you doing that?
Unwell. Yeah, because, like, it's not that I don't have time, but it's just, like, oh, I just have, like, so much to do.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Oh, wait, never mind. I thought that was the exact same code to get into my house. On your keychain.
Oh, no, that's my apartment number.
Sorry, I'm like ADHD. That was such an ADHD moment. Wow.
I witnessed it firsthand.
No, but generosity for me would always come in, like, forms of, I'm a huge gift giver.
Yeah, gift giver.
I wrote this down. I literally was like, my problem is, like, I used to give, this is so pathetic. I used to give because I thought, like, especially like making friends here and stuff, I'd be like, if I give 1,010% into this relationship, there's no way they're not gonna like me. It doesn't make a fucking difference.
Yeah.
Someone either likes you for who you are, or they genuinely don't like you. It doesn't matter how much time or money or anything you give.
Yeah.
But like, also, like, in high school, my friends know this too. I would buy like my friends insane gifts, like just to. And I don't regret any of it, but I'm saying, like, what? Like, where does that come from me? And I think it stems from my mom, because my mom's super generous. Like, we are not, like, the wealthiest people in the world. Like, but my mom will be like, oh my god, if anyone's in need or anyone needs something, bam, got you.
Yeah.
Like, I think I just grew up, like,
I think that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, I would be so generous with money that I don't have to blow. But I no longer buy insane gifts unless it's for my family if I actually have money. Every birthday, I would get so much money because if you take consideration, I have 4 uncles and 3 aunts.
Yeah.
And then they have their, you know, their husbands and their wives. And then I have a bunch of cousins, like 26 cousins.
Wow, 26.
So I have a really large family. Yeah. So birthdays were like, it would be everyone at my grandmother's house. So I would get so much money, like so much money. And like all these gifts and stuff, but all the money I would get, I would put away and would not touch, would never buy myself anything with it. And I'd save it till Christmas to buy my mom like a huge gift and my brother a huge gift.
Oh wow.
Like that's how I've always been. Nice. Like I would always be like, okay, well actually I would take like $50 out. I'd be like $50 to do something with this, because when I think of it, like my mom's always there to lend me money. Yeah. And then I'll save like the 500 something, 700 something dollars I'd get. Which just sounds like a crazy lot of money, but we have a big family. Yeah. Maybe like not even 500, maybe like 700 to like $800. And I'd put that away and I'd be like, great, now I'm gonna get my mom like a new this, and this. Yeah. Yeah. So like that.
She takes care of you.
Yeah. So that's justifiable as my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other people know it's not.
No, not justifiable. We want to dive in now to like family stays, friends leave.
Yeah.
Like you must have instances where you've given so much to a friend and they've left your life.
Yeah.
Does that sound so dark?
No, like I've had, it just sounds so bad to say this, but like I have had so many friends and friend groups, and honestly, like even here, like I went through probably like 4 different friend groups, like within freshman year or sophomore year.
Oh girl, have we all?
I know, but even like through high school, like
I know what you mean though.
I transferred schools my junior year. It was during COVID, so then I went to an all-girls school. So that was like it was like a weird thing for me, because I was like, all these girls have like insane crazy connections because they've been with each other for 6 years, and then I'm coming in, no one wants to let me in their friend group because like they already have established connections. Like I'm like the odd person out. But I was also, when I got there, I felt like I was like the shiny new toy for everyone, because everyone wanted to get to know me, like I'm new, like whatever, for like the first 3 months, and then after that it was like, we don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, so after 3 months, they would kind of distance themselves and then sort of like dropped me. And like that was my senior year. And honestly, at that point, I didn't really care, because I was like, I'm only here for like 5 more months. Like I'm here to get my high school diploma and get out. But throughout like middle school, high school, I never really had like a solid group of like friends within my school. I mean, I have like a few like close friends who I still talk to. Like my friend Andrew, I know he's listening. I've known him for like almost, I think like 8 years now, which is crazy. Like he's like one of my longest like friendships that I've had. And my friend Sol, like I would have friends through like activities. So like tennis, like I was really involved in tennis. I would do club tennis and travel and all that stuff. So I have a few friends like from that I'm still really close to. But school wise, like I really never had like a group within high school. Because like if I
traveled so much, and COVID really messed a lot of things up.
It really did. And like if I did, it would be like a few months, and then it would be like, okay, like bye, like. And I don't know why. I think it, honestly, now looking back on it, I think it was the fact that like maybe I gave too much and it was like overwhelming for people.
I think that's a thing.
Like I think they were like scared, because they were like, why is this girl so invested in being my friend? But then I'm like, how else do you want me to be? Do you want me to be so nonchalant and not care about you? Like I'm gonna give 110% to like any relationship that I have.
Yeah, I've had like people in my life tell me that I'm too friendly and too nice,
which is crazy,
which is super bizarre to me.
Especially like a
people like
friendship.
you're too friendly, like being morning person was annoying, like stuff like that. Like just like super, just like normal things where I'm like, oh, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people just, and I think that I've like learned, I feel like I cope so well with it now. I have walked out / had people walk out of my life so many times where I'm just like, this is for a reason. Rejection is God's protection.
Yeah.
Redirection is God's protection.
Yeah.
Some people genuinely just don't make good friends with some people.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people can handle your personality and who you are as a person and what you bring to the table, and some people can't handle it, and if they can't, then it's like, good riddance. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't stick my neck out unless it's deserved.
Yeah.
I used to stick my neck out for like anyone and their mother.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, it's okay, like, we're friends, like, you couldn't be like the most
It's okay that you hurt my feelings. Like,
yeah, you could be the most mediocre person in the whole world, and like, I'd call you my best friend. My senior year, I went in separate ways of my friend group in the summer before college, and that was as easy as it might have seemed from my end. That was like one of the hardest things ever, but I think I do really well with like, I'll mourn with it for like a little, but then I'm like, this is life. Like, this is how it is. This is what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is like a good time for this to happen though, because I'm going and I'm gonna make new friends. And I literally said this to like my friends, like obviously I love them. They'll always be in my life forever. And I've had this conversation with like a big handful of them. But as unfortunate as the whole situation was, I don't want to say shitty. As unfortunate the whole situation was, and as much like emotional pain I went through, if I didn't do that, I would not have thick enough skin to deal with all the stuff I went through my freshman year.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole personal growth aspect where you have to be selfish. If I wasn't selfish, I could have begged on my hands and knees to be like, please guys, like, let's work this out. But I'm not going to do that, because naturally the way things will fall, like, there is a plan. Whatever happens, I'm religious, so I say whatever happens, like, God has a whole plan behind it.
Yeah.
And it felt like the whole plan worked out.
Yeah, looking back on it, it just makes sense.
Like, in the moment you're like, I'm drowning, please. But then once you're out of it, you're like, oh, yes.
You're a life preserver.
Yeah, I know. Like, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the whole thing about, like, there's a difference between being a selfish individual in the fact that you literally do not think about anyone but yourself. But then there's a selfish aspect, which it's the one that you and I clearly are on the same wavelength, where it's you care about people, but you also care about yourself. So in the instances where you could hurt yourself to help someone, or help someone as much as you can while preserving yourself, that's what I mean by selfish.
But I have been at the point where I will hurt myself over and over again for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we're growing out of that.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we have.
It's such a self-growth journey.
But I feel like, I don't know, maybe I don't like know what goes on in your other friendships, but I feel like you're good at, like, I feel like we've not known each other since, like,
we need to do an episode on, like, how we became
how we
friends,
met. You gotta be like, what?
It's so funny.
We literally went to a Mexican restaurant and bam, became friends. Well, no, we were in the same class, but
no, it was like 3 months after.
But I feel like that's where our friendship really, like, we got down, like, we talked about some deep stuff.
We got really drunk and talked about everything.
Oh god, me. I'm like, and that, and you're like, no, you told stuff. Too. I wasn't the only one. I'm making myself sound crazy.
I was very open and honest.
Yeah, I love it. It's the only way to be. And this is what this is.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I feel like there's a huge difference between.
But that was scary because I was like, I don't know you.
That's the thing. When you go to college, like, you totally are like, just going full force, see if you can trust someone or not. Like, you're really just like rolling the dice. You either told something to someone who has the biggest mouth in the whole world and is gonna tell everyone your secrets. You just told someone it's like their vault and you're chilling.
And then they're like, oh yeah, I've had the same thing happen to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Or you could say something and be like, what? No.
Yeah.
God, the most awkward thing is when you try to relate to someone and you think that they're gonna think the same thing as you, and then you say it and then they're like, what? And you're like, oh, I keep forgetting you didn't grow up with me. We didn't go to high school together. I know nothing about your past. I don't know where you grew up. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I live in a small town in Massachusetts where my friends, okay, so for example, my friends Shannon and Molly, we've been best friends since like we were in strollers.
Oh wow.
So we've known each other since like preschool.
Yeah.
And then Shannon ended up going to like a private school, and then it's kind of a crazy story. I don't know why I'm going through this, but I'm just explaining the whole friendship thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I made friends with my other friends, Lily, because she was in my 2nd grade class, and then she had a cousin who transferred from a different town over to our town. She like moved, so then she became part of the friend group. So then in high school,
combined.
Yeah, and it's just like Molly, Ashley, Liv, Maddie, them
Big
4,
friend group.
and then me, Shannon, Lily, and Annalise. Oh, and then our Norwegian friend Vilda. So like those people I've known for so long.
Yeah.
So the stuff you say to them, like they know everything about you. Like they knew how you grew up. And then you come here and it's like,
I know,
fresh start. You're like, oh, we gotta remember what it's like to make friends, even though you make friends all your life.
I know.
Especially me, I'm such an outgoing person. I'd make a friend with a homeless person. Sorry, I would make a friend with a person experiencing homelessness. You are my friend.
Yeah, we're actually super similar.
Yeah, wow, we have so much in common. No, but you know what I mean. So I feel like there's a difference here too. Giving to people here is so different than giving to people who've been in your life forever. I really tapped in my ability to like look out for myself at the end of my freshman year. I came home and I just kind of like restarted my whole life, I would say. Not like my whole life, but like who I was and who I wanted to be. I got super into health. I spent every day like with myself, because at that point I wasn't super back to normal with like my high school friend group. So like I was like, I'm just gonna do me, like, so I spent every time with myself, building myself, and then at the end of the summer, like I genuinely could say like I was glowing differently. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like you can tap into that, because like sometimes, I don't know, I feel like sometimes you have to be alone to realize what's important in your life.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's my faith, my family, my loyal and consistent friends, and myself.
I think we explained sort of in episode 1, like I definitely the summer after freshman year, I was like, okay, like I am going to try to improve myself. Like what do I want for myself and how can I achieve that? And I took that time to like really figure that out. See, I work in Nantucket during the summer. I lived there during the summer. So I was there in like early May.
Girl, she was gone for so long.
I know.
She was like,
it's so crazy. This was freshman year. End of freshman year.
Oh, I didn't even know you then.
I would go like do hot yoga like in the morning. Like I would be working at night. So during the day I'd do hot yoga. I'd go to the beach. I'd like go get myself lunch. No, I literally go.
Just slaying.
So I was very much like working on myself, doing that. I was working out a ton.
Oh, same.
Yeah. And I don't feel like I lost weight.
Yeah, I just like felt like healthier.
Yeah, you just feel so much better. Like you feel like you're glowing from the inside out. And I remember like seeing people that I hadn't seen in like a while. Like my friend Jill came to visit me in Nantucket, and she was like, "You're literally glowing." And like she'll say that all the time to me. And like now,
that's
like,
the best compliment.
It's the best compliment. Like
I love when people are like, "You have such good skin. You're glowing." And I'm like, "Oh, say it again."
I know. And I haven't seen my friend Jill since she came to visit me in Nantucket, which sounds so bad, but she goes to UNH in New Hampshire. So like
my friend goes to UNH. We should travel up there.
We should. That'd be fun. But okay. But she'll like randomly text me and be like, I just saw this, like you're glowing, like you're so, it's such a nice compliment, because then you're like, oh, maybe I am glowing even though I don't feel like it today. Going back to the trust thing, you just can't trust everyone with like your personal information.
I don't think you can fully trust anyone but your family. I think that yes, there are people you can trust, but the thing about me is actually I have a really good sixth sense. Like I can like read people.
Okay, wait, I was gonna touch on that actually, and that just triggered something.
Okay, perfect. Touch on that, because the person that like I thought I knew, the whole time that I knew him, I was like, for some reason the words that are coming out of your mouth, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest thing, because my mom has this talent too. Yeah. Too? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I know you're lying and there's something sus going on.
Yeah.
But then you want to suppress it because you don't want to believe it's true.
Well, yeah, and then you're like, oh,
well,
what if I'm wrong? Like, I want to be wrong. Like,
I was like, I wanted to be wrong so bad. I knew from the start, I was like, we should just be friends, because I have a weird feeling about this.
Yeah.
And everything I predicted, I wrote the story before it even came true. That comes with age. Like, I used to not be as good as it, but now that I've seen I feel like I've gone through like a whole book full of different type of people. So I've met all the type of different personalities and like who you are and how my personality will clash with yours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can read you like a book.
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, I can read you like a book and I know you're a good person. Like I'm finally in a spot in my life where every person I have in my life, I fully trust.
What's interesting is like so this is like kind of a random story, but my dad was born. He was the sixth. He's six. One of six. He's the youngest
Whoa,
of
we
six.
both have babies.
Yeah, or at least that side of my family. So he was born in the amniotic sac, which is
What's that?
amniotic sac, like with the baby's in, and then it breaks. Like when you give birth, like your water breaking, amniotic sac breaking.
Okay.
But he was born in it. It wasn't even like punctured at all. So he was born in it, like delivered in it. With the it's so rare. If you look it up, like there's like a 1 in like millionth chance that could ever happen.
Wait, this is like so interesting.
It's so interesting. And my grandma, like, she's super religious. Like, she has done so much research on like what that meant, and I guess there was some like correlations with like Jesus, and like he was born in the amniotic sac or something. I don't know if that's true. Don't like fact check me on that, but I remember her
or
saying
fact checker.
I know, but like there was something like to
Yeah, no,
that. So my dad has always been super like
Intuitive.
and spiritual, intuitive. Like he'll know. Like if you ask him, what do you think about this? His answer is almost usually always right. So I feel like I have grown up with this, like that heightened sense too. Not that like I have the same experience as him, but I've grown up seeing him make decisions based on like his intuition, and then I'm like, I feel like I have the same vibe. I don't know, but it's just like a crazy story. Like if like basically no babies are born like that, especially nowadays, because they'll puncture it. Like the doctors will puncture it.
What, do they stick something up you? I'm not ready to give birth. That's for sure. Sorry, we can crop that one up. Wait, that's so interesting. That's kind of like, I feel like too, a whole part of like who you are growing up. This isn't even like, I feel like what I like about this podcast is we will talk about the topic, but we'll also stray from it. And I feel like it's okay to keep it straight.
Yeah,
because it kind
there's no like part 2, but like there's. It's
but
just,
I think that's the thing about podcasts. They
Yeah.
are just whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Comes to your mind. But the thing about your dad, when you grow up around someone who's like that, you usually know, like my mom and my Auntie Mary, so crazy good at reading people.
Yeah.
But my mom's also like, she sniffs out bullshit from a mile away. Like she can, she'll tell. Like she'll be like, oh, that guy's such an Eddie Haskell. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Like, this is what she means by it, I'm pretty sure. But it's like some guy who's like such a suck up, but he's actually like a crappy person.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that before.
Maybe it's a Massachusetts thing. Maybe it's a Newburyport thing.
Maybe.
Wait, what if Eddie Haskell is like some guy from... Sorry. Maybe it's such a my town thing.
Maybe. I've never heard that before.
Maybe there's a guy named Eddie Haskell that they like knew growing up.
Maybe.
Oh my god, imagine I was saying the whole time Eddie Haskell's out there just like listening. Eddie Haskell.
Yeah, it's a fictional character. He was on a sitcom. Yeah, it's definitely like a generational thing.
Eddie Haskell syndrome for people who reserve one personality for superiors and others for underlings. So like with people who are like parents or something, they'll be like such a suck up, and then if it's not a parent, they'd be like a horrible human being to them.
Oh, interesting. So we also wanted to talk about briefly like doing something for someone else can make you happy, and it definitely does like make me happy.
Yeah.
And I know I'm sure it does for you, Abigail, too. I'm very much, and maybe it's the whole Virgo thing, but like very acts of service. Like
Yes.
like I will give everything to make someone happy. Like, oh, I don't know.
Like she got me the best gift for my birthday. So it was a skin set. It was so slay, and the color was so me.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, sorry.
I saw the color. Like sometimes I'll just like randomly see something, and I'm like, oh my god, like this person would love this. Like that like goes perfect with their personality or like their style. Like so. But yeah, but it definitely does make me happy, and I think it is a great quality to have, like, if you are the type of person that, like, gives the most, because one day you're going to find people, like, a group of friends or a partner that, like, appreciates that, like, 100%.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, it's like, I feel like I still am the person who gives the most, but now I'm just selective with it.
Yes, yeah.
So once you find, like you said, once you find those people, then you can go back to what you were doing that you love. Like, I loved giving the most.
Yeah.
But I just hated that feeling of giving the most, and then, not that you expect anything in return, but then when there's, like, no reciprocation.
Even the appreciation of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need, say, which I would never do, say I buy you a Lamborghini, not expecting you to give a Lamborghini back to me, I just expect you to be a good friend and, like, care. Like, even if you come over and you cook me a dinner, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I just expect you to pay the car payment.
Yeah,
the monthly payments.
Yeah, but like that's just like an absurd example.
I know.
I finally feel like I'm in a spot where I've found the balance. Yes, there are some times where I stray from the balance and I'll just do really nice things for someone else. But at the end of the day, I don't really regret it because I'm like, okay, you know what? That was my original nature, but I'm not doing it to like I feel like I low-key at one point not an addiction, but I was like addicted to like making everyone happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if not everyone was happy, like everything's out of order. Like everyone has to be super happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's the Virgo in me wanting
like
everything to be controlled and like everyone's
I
happy.
like that too.
But now I feel like I'm in a spot where I'm like, I'm like smiling thinking about it. I am like so happy and content where I am in my life, and I'm so content with myself that like whatever I give you, like at this point in my life, I genuinely do want to give it to you, and it's not affecting me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll do nice things. People are like, oh my god, why did you do that? I feel so bad. I'm like, don't feel bad. I'm actually at the point where I would not have done it if I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Back then, I would have done it even if I didn't want to. Like I should have got my nails done. Should have put color on them.
Yeah.
But I feel like, are you in the same point too?
Yeah, definitely. You just have the certain people in your life that you do like give more, but they've also earned it. So that's how I like sort of validate it in my head.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think that
It's also just like getting older, you do realize like you do have to be selective.
especially because the older you get, the less time on your hands you have.
Totally. Yeah.
So less time you have to like mess around and do unnecessary
Yeah.
things for people. So they're like,
Yes.
who should I make time to do necessary things for?
Yeah.
I do nice things for myself.
Yes.
Like get to bed at reasonable times, go to the gym, get my work done.
But thanks for watching, everyone.
Yes, and next episode, we don't know what it is yet, but please,
Yeah.
if you have any ideas, comment them below.
Yeah, we do. So sort of an update. We do have a Q&A section on Spotify. So if you want to drop like recommendations or podcast ideas in there, you definitely can, or just give us like appreciation. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do. And then we're on YouTube, Spotify. We do have a TikTok.
Which do we put below?
Yeah, I'm linking everything below, either on YouTube or Spotify.
She's like
We have, like-
I show up and I talk for these things. She does
It's so much.
everything behind the scene. Is this girl right here? The only round of applause you're getting is me, but through the phone you're getting many others. So
But you come prepared with like talking points, so yeah.
I had way too many today.
No, but that's good because I like didn't have time to like write so many things.
I
But
talked your ear off. I talked your ear off. My bad. I'm really good at that.
yeah, but Abigail picked this podcast topic, so it makes sense that she was more prepared for it. But yeah.
I had a list. This one spoke to me.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't have. A list was given to me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.